Okay. Alright, we are back. Jesus. Yeah, and YouTube said, oh, you got a problem with your audio processor, so fuck off. But now I'm back. Alright. So. Let me just... You need to change... I don't care. Fuck off. Alright. Hopefully this won't lag too much during the songs, but let me just pop in the chat here. God, I'm so organized. Incredible. Alright, that works. Alright, cool. So, got my bowl of pasta, 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. We are good to go. So before we start listening to the thing, I gotta talk about, you know, why it took so long to fuck with this. Because last stream I actually talked about, you know, I'm gonna do a listening party with the instrumental shit. So it took a while because a simple but complicated reason, if that's a thing. But basically, my guitar, my now main guitar that I use, before I used my my gem copy as a main guitar, but now it's just that I had to change the bridge, and I bought a knockoff bridge on Wish for $30. A knockoff Floyd Rose. It works, but it has its problem. But yeah, let's forget about the gem, and let's talk about, you know, the main guitar that I use. I bought it off of my good friend Biggie Sam Brownie, however you want to call him. By the way, he's got a song coming out tomorrow, so check him out. Just Biggie Sam 7 or Brownie Roll. He has many names, but you can find him, I think, in my related channels, I think. But that being said, I bought it off of him during BronyCon 2018, and when I got it home, I set it up properly, because since he doesn't really do solos and shit, he didn't really care about the intonation. Well, because it's a Floyd Rose guitar, he doesn't like Floyd Rose guitars. So he didn't really care about the intonation. So that's the first thing that I noticed when I played it, and I was like, oh shit, you got a problem with your intonation, it's not set up properly. He was like, well, whatever. I didn't use it, so. But, I came back home, set up the intonation properly, and the thing that I noticed was the high E string had a problem. It made a high-pitched, very high-pitched noise between the frets 17 and 24. And so I looked it up online, and mostly it was people saying like, oh, you need to look at your bridge, not your bridge, at your pickups, and see if they're too close. And I had them like as far down as possible, and it didn't do anything. So I sent it to a luthier, and the shop just opened, so I'll give him that, because it took them like 3 weeks before I got it back. But there was a lot of people who gave their guitars for repair, so I can understand why it took that long. But when I got it back 3 weeks later, I had a gig, so I didn't really want to like try it out on the spot and be like, well, here's the guitar. Now I have no guitar for that gig. But they told me like I had a warranty anyways for like 60 days or something, so if there was any problem, I could send it back and they'd do it for free. So I got to the gig, started playing, and I was like, oh shit, the problem is still happening. So I called them, told them like, hey, I just played the gig and the problem is still happening. Can I give it back to you like next week? Right, yeah, sure. So I give it back, and then a week and a half later I got it back, and it still had the problem, and they told me they looked at the electronics and shit, and it wasn't the pickups that were the problem. They looked at that and they said, well, it's a very odd problem, we really don't know what the problem is. So they said it's either the bridge itself or it's who knows. Maybe it's just something we don't know. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So they swapped the high E for an 11, which I don't use except if I'm doing like down tunings and shit. So it was really thick, and they had it set up for like super tight, so I couldn't really bend. And the problem was still happening between the 17th and 24th fret. Just it was quieter. That's the only thing that changed. So I was like, let me see here, because now it started sounding. It only did that when I plugged it in an amp, and not like acoustically, if that's a word. But then I started hearing it without even plugging it in, so I was like, oh shit, maybe it is in the bridge. So I swapped the two saddles, the B and the E saddles, and it worked. The problem stopped. It doesn't do it on the B string, so I'm happy with that. Then it started doing it again for a little while, but then I swapped again the saddles of the G string and the E string, so now it works. It doesn't do the problem anymore, so that's cool. So that was the one problem that I had that made it impossible for me to release this, to do this listening party, because most of the solos weren't recorded. So I was like, shit, I can't use my gem for that. It's like tuned in D standard, and the Floyd you can't really do the like flutter things. A la Van Halen, if you want. Van Halen, sorry, Jesus, I butchered his name. But yeah, that was the one problem. And then, you know, since I got the G5N, I started fucking around with more tones and shit. And so that's one part of why I couldn't do the listening party. Now, why I couldn't release this goddamn album for so long, and no, it's not going to be released like this week or whatever. It's probably going to be in a month or two. Maybe. I say maybe because, well, if you can hear me talk right now, I say some words and some letters really weird, because I got a canker sore in my mouth and it started spreading everywhere. Don't worry about this. I get it like once or twice a year, so I'm used to it. But yeah, my lips are swollen and I say like bees and shit, really weird. But yeah, don't worry about it. But that's one thing that I can't really do right now, is sing properly. So I can't record the vocals, which is why I say, you know, it's probably going to be released in a month or two. So there's hope that it's going to be out soon. So, let's talk about the whole process. Actually, no, we're going to listen to the whole thing. I'll add some commentaries here and there. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Stealing this from Philip DeFranco. But let's get going. So here it is, Heroes of Harmony, the instrumental version. Enjoy. So here's the first track, called Heroes of Harmony, Act 1. Basically, it's not a concept album, but it has like two there's no H in trilogies. It has two trilogies and the 24-minute song right here, as you can see. Let me zoom in on that. There we go. So there's a 24-minute song right here. So the first trilogy starts off with Heroes of Harmony Act 1. Then we have Fight for Harmony, which you guys already heard. So these are the two first of the first trilogy. Then we got First Flight, which you guys already heard in the past, which is the first one of the second trilogy. Then we have Cry to the Moon, which you guys already heard, which is the second part of the second trilogy. In the Name of Friendship, which I think you guys already heard, but it was under another name. But that's the third one of the first trilogy. Then we have the 24-minute song, and we have the final act of the second trilogy. So first trilogy is Heroes of Harmony, and the second one is Dreams of a Filly. So I guess it's a bonus track if you want. It wasn't supposed to be in the album. At first I wanted to finish off with the 24-minute song, but I was like, hey, I have that old song that I never really re-recorded. Let's take a look at it, and it really works well with the other two. So let's get to it. And so here it is, Heroes of Harmony Act 1. Let's get to it. And of course I'm going to mute my mouth when I don't want to talk. So you can hear the Metropolis Part 1 influence right there with the intro, and you're gonna hear the first riff. It's really Metropolis Part 1 influenced. Hopefully you can hear my voice like that. So this very proggy bit is in 7/8, 9/8, 7/8, 15/16 for your information. So that was Heroes of Harmony Act 1. Here we go with Act 2, which is Fight for Harmony. Here we go with First Flight. And now with Cry to the Moon. That was literally the last second, but here you go. So, we are getting now at the half of the album. First half is done. We're gonna get into In the Name of Friendship, which is the third part of Heroes of Harmony. So, here we go. And here is the big one, the 24-minute song, the Elements song, or the 4 Elements. I haven't decided on the title yet. Here you go. See y'all in a couple minutes, actually. I'll say each name of each part. So this first one is Kingdom of Clouds. So there you go. So the first part is now ending. We are going to enter the second part, which is Land of Equestria, which starts in a couple of seconds. So I'm gonna go away. Be right back. Brace yourselves for a typical Dream Theater moment with a keyboard and guitar unison. Here we are in the third part, which is Reigns of Despair. Which, as I said, is the third part. And as you can hear, there is rain in the background. Because you gotta love using sound effects and music. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot that I had a 12 string in there for that part of the song. For some reason I forgot about it. It's not mine, I borrowed someone's. But fun fact, there is a 12 string in there. And we're gonna jump right into part 4, which is Raging Fire. And this has to be the most prog part of the song. Like, the whole song is pretty much in 7/8. And there's some bits in 4/4, but it goes from 7/8 to 4/4. But yeah, this one is pretty proggy, and I like it. So, and it's also very Yngwie Malmsteen inspired. So you'll see. Jesus. Alright. So there's the fifth part, which is Aether, because if you do a little research, Aether apparently is like, well, for Greek mythology, is the like combination of all four elements, and it gives you a fifth element. But as a musical concept, I basically recapped every main melody of all four past songs. So right now is the first one, and then you'll hear. And the last one, of course, for the fourth one is the same melody, but in major instead of minor. You'll see. So this is the second part. Third part. And fourth part, but in major. And after that bit, we're gonna go into the part 6, which is grand finale. Literally what I called it, because I had no idea what the fuck to call it. But you'll hear it's very astonishing, inspired by Dream Theater. You'll hear. And as we drift away into the world of sound effects, we will go into the final song of the album, which is Flight of Your Dreams, the third and final act of the Dreams of a Philly trilogy. So here you go, in like 3 seconds or 5, I don't know. needless to say that this will have vocals. Because it just loops on forever until like this point right here. So yeah, it will have vocals. Worry not. And here we go. And there you go. That's the album. Instrumental. Unfortunately, there's no vocals yet. But yeah, so how long is that? It's 51 minutes? Is that it? Close to. 50 minutes, 50 seconds. Close enough. But how long is exactly Four Limits? It is 21. It's 24, 20. Can't count, Jesus. Wait, 21. Yes, so 24 minutes. Now, let's talk about the process and everything behind the songs and whatnot. So, yo man, what's up? Jesus, how many people are in here? I don't even know. Oh, 4 people. Well, 3, excluding me. Hey, Lamau. But yeah, so we have a heavy and proggy, well, with a proggy bit here in the first song. So you can kind of see a pattern, I guess. So there's like heavy, heavy, slightly less heavier, then really calm compared to the rest, then a bit more heavy, a bit more orchestral. Then here we have heavy, heavy, well, slightly less heavy, then calm, then super heavy, and then with a little bit of orchestral stuff here, and with a like epic symphonic dream theater-ish style ending with a super calm song with intense ending. So there's sleepy but don't want to. Oh yeah, right, you work at like 5 AM. And you, well, I'm just tired as well, but that's just in general. This one is an entire series, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty much like 2 trilogy. Jesus Christ, I keep saying trilogies. There's no H. It's not a thrill. It's a trilogy. But so what I noticed just listening to it, the 2 trilogies have 1 song with vocals each. So for example, for the first trilogy, which is the Heroes of Harmony trilogy, there's this one that's going to have vocals. This one is instrumental. And this one, well, pretty sure is going to be an instrumental at the end. I don't see what I can add to it. It's already pretty much full. So yeah, so 2 out of 3, and if we look at this, well, First Flight is instrumental, Cry to the Moon is instrumental, and this is going to have vocals. So there's that. And in here, for each part, there will be vocals except for the hello. Don't care. Stop. Jesus. Okay, fuck off. My lord. But yeah, so this one, first, second, third, fourth part are gonna have vocals, and the 2 last one won't. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 songs out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's half. It's half. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole album, and I think for Flight of Your Dreams, I'm gonna go with something more relaxed, except for the end. Well, I'll unleash everything and whatever. I feel like it's gonna be a mix of, well, vocally at least, like The Death of Music by Devin Townsend and the following song, Things Beyond Things, or To Think Beyond Things. It's gonna have like that cool, chill ambience, but at the end I'm gonna like unleash everything and go super high and whatever. Here it's gonna be mostly heavy, not too gritty, but sort of like, if you've listened to one of the new Dream Theater tracks, one of them is Untethered Angel. It's probably gonna be like that a little bit, not too high, but not too clean as well. And as for these, well, of course, this is gonna be, because here's the thing, behind the 24-minute song, I wrote it in like 2 years, completely. Like the first thing that I wrote was the first part, so A King of Clouds, and it sounds really, well, back when I wrote that part, I was really into Breaking Benjamin, and you know, bands that, you know, are in the same genre. So there's Breaking Benjamin influence in here, here, the second part, I was really into Rise Against, so you can hear that influence in there as well. A third part, I really don't know what really inspired me for that one. I think I was like listening to calm music to go to sleep. I don't remember, but I know I was starting to get a lot into orchestra, because at first there was no like orchestral at all, except for that one part. But then I figured, hey, it's gonna make everything like more wide and more sorry if I use that word, but epic. Yeah, epic. But yeah, I really don't know what influenced me to do that, but it's just, I needed like to have a really calm break in the middle of a song like that, and then go right back into the heavier side of things. This was mostly Yngwie Malmsteen inspired at first, because at first it was in E flat, and then I changed it to B, considering you know, if I get a 7-string one day, hopefully, all those songs will be playable with the 7-string. Because at first I wanted to use to be in C standard or drop C for that song, but I decided to play it in E standard. But with a 7-string, I could do those lower C's and whatnot. Same thing goes here. Here I played it with a D standard guitar, which was my gem. So I could also do that with a 7-string. This, well, of course, and this as well. So yeah, this was heavily Yngwie Malmsteen inspired. And so the first 4 parts were pretty much all I had at first. That's the only thing that I had. I didn't have those final 2 parts. But then after revisiting it, I was like, maybe I should do some sort of finale. I don't know. So I composed that part. Well, I didn't really compose, I just took all the main melodies from each part and transcripted it on piano and strings. So if you can hear just that part. So you get that bit, and then there's that, and then if you hear the main melody for the second part. Shit. Wait, I skipped it, Jesus. Oh, there it is. There it is. Well, thank you very much. And then we get into the same part in here, so. And of course with the piano and shit. Well. And then this is the part I was saying, like, oh, it's the same main riff than Raging Fire, but in major instead of minor. Babish brought me here. What? Babish? Binging with Babish? What? I know I commented on one of his vids today, but how in the hell? What? Babish brought me. How the fuck? Man, I don't know. But yeah, so what? But yeah, that same riff. Shit. How in the fuck did Binging with Babish Yeah, how? Please, explain yourself, Tragic Sense. I need to know your secrets. I can hear the keyboards typing. But yeah, if you listen to this bit... But yeah, it's the same melody but in major. And what vid, at least it was the, I was reading through this comment, sorry, comment 3. Thought your wallpaper was cool. What is my wallpaper though? I don't remember. Well, welcome to the channel. I was just curious how Babish brought you here, but I guess he did, like, unintentionally. Well, welcome to the channel. What the fuck can I say? I don't know. But yeah, I do enjoy binging with Babish. If you guys don't watch him, you should definitely check him out. Please do. And let me just delete the 1 minute live stream because that was weird. What is my... Oh, there you go. Now I see. Well, hey, be sure to click that subscribe button. And pre-order the album that you probably missed, that we listened to the instrumental version of it. Jesus, I'm begging new subscribers to buy my album. If you don't enjoy metal, don't. I'm not forcing you. Yeah, check out Binging with Babish. He's fucking cool. He makes recipes from TV shows and movies and try to recreate them like as accurately as possible and as realistically as possible. So he does, let's say, the recipe following what they do in the movie or show, and then he tastes it, and then he's like, well, this is garbage, or let's make it like an edible version of that. And yeah, it's really cool. And his latest video is bagels, which I really want to try. Lava cake by him, yeah, with fucking Jon Favreau. Gotta love Chef. Have you seen Chef? I haven't. Hey. Well, I learned some things because I already cooked like a little bit by myself since I'm in an apartment, and he just, you know, boosted that that love of cooking. Him and Gordon Ramsay. But yeah, back to the 24-minute song. That last bit is really astonishing, inspired. If you can hear the... Yeah, it's just really like epic, and again, I use that stupid word, but but yeah, so at first I had this part written, then I wrote that part, and then I was really into Dream Theater, and I was like, I need like a finale, not this little thing, because it's just awkward to finish on. And so I finished on a like epic victory royale. But yeah, that was one of the first songs that I wrote for the album, or at least, actually no, never mind what I just said. The first song that I wrote for between all of these, this one, Fight for Harmony, was the first one. I think it was the first original song I've ever posted, but back then there's a whole metal genre called epic metal. Nice. Is it just like the Fortnite song thing, Fortnite dance song or whatever, with like Fuck. Need to stop talking. Oh yeah, I can talk about Fortnite this way. I can put it in the tags. Damn. Damn. But yeah, this was the first one that I composed between all of these, and then First Flight, and then I think I wrote Flight of Your Dreams. Yeah, because it was called something else back then, and then this one, which was also called something else back then, and then Card to the Moon, and then Heroes of Harmony Act 1. At least a part of it, and then it was the whole 24-minute song. And I was like, hey, let's make a fucking album. But yeah, and let's talk about like the well, I explained pretty much what I went through for the, well, for the writing part at least. Not in depth, but still, I just wanted to like vary in genre. There's this one which is mostly like heavy and proggy. This one is more symphonic metal, with more metal than symphony. Then the First Flight was like, let's have one where it's like, it feels like an adventure movie song or whatever. And I've got food day tomorrow. What should I bring? Bought cookies every time, so I want to bring something different. Shit. Is it at work or at school? Who knows? Because you can make a pretty decent, well, I mean, considering it's 9 p.m., I don't know. We're in the same time zones, but make some banana bread, my dude. Banana and chocolate chips. Don't forget the chocolate chip. But yeah, for First Flight, I wanted something like more adventurous and more, you know, more symphonic and more metal than Fight for Harmony. Then Card to the Moon was straight up just a like chill song that's oddly enough inspired a bit of I can't remember the name, but one of the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core soundtracks. Hell, I think like I used the same chords, I think, or is it pitched down? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that first lick is pretty much just the same melody, but the first like 3 notes, so like this bit. So yeah, I need to find that song again. It was so good, but that is the same 3 notes from that song. But I didn't copy anything else in for that stupid Final Fantasy song. I just can't remember what the song of it is. But yeah, so I just wanted something more relaxed, more because you know the solo in Heroes of Harmony Part 1, 2, and 3 are really, really technical. First Flight, it goes between technical and slow, at least for the lead guitar. And for this, I just wanted something really, really like feelish, like that, to have some feel and more slow stuff than like shredding. And here, well, it's just, alright, let's make like a battle song, kind of like Fight for Harmony, but in a different tone. And if you can hear, actually, all 3 of those songs use sort of the same riff, if you want. Let me just find it. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're gonna make some banana bread with chocolate chips? Don't forget the freaking chocolate chips. Damn it. So there's that, and then there's the main riff for Fight for Harmony. So there you go. And for In the Name of Friendship, it's the same, but in whatever key it's in. I don't remember. Right there. There it is. So it's the same riff. Just like, oh, it's part of the series. This, however, does not have anything in common, except for the fact that I decided they were part of a series. But I mean, there's gonna be a story behind it in the lyrics for Flight of Your Dreams, because it's like, oh, first flight, and it's about Scootaloo, of course. If you didn't notice. I don't have any chocolate chips, so I was like, oof. Well then, it's really fucking easy. You need bananas, flour, and some eggs, I think. Pretty much all you need. And if you have cocoa powder, use that instead of chocolate chips. If you want, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But yeah, so the first, like, oh, like, Scootaloo doing her first flight and shit, because she can't fly because she's handicapped or whatever, unless that changed in the last season, which I haven't seen yet. I'm really late on that. But yeah, and then so she fails and whatever. And then Cry to the Moon is like, oh my god, Luna, I wanna fucking fly. And it's like, really, oh, let's just, oh god, is this a reference to liked and sub plus? Damn boy, thank you very much. Jesus, I did not expect that. Did not expect to comment on a Binging with Babish video and get a subscriber from that. Well, the world is a crazy place. But yeah, so it's really like, is this a reference to Ben Jackson? Yes, it is. It's like they fly into the night. I really didn't. Fuck. I never thought of this. But, you want another one rockin'? Hell yeah, boy. Hell yeah. I didn't win him. I got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Stupid memes. Shit. But, yeah, so it's like, oh, go together in the night and I'll teach you how to fly, and then it's like, hey, you fucking did it. It's a flight of your dreams. And guess what? It's all gonna be a dream. It's all fucking inner dreams. It's not, it is not real. She cannot fly because she is handicapped. But guess what? When that peak reaches, she'll realize that, oh, she can do this in the real world and whatever, and Jesus Christ. I've been live for an hour and a half. Well then, let's just talk about the recording and mixing process then, because that's pretty much all I have to explain for the rest of the stream. So for the recording and mixing process, because as you can see right now, I'm in Adobe Audition, which is typically it's not your typical DAW for audio mixing. It's mostly going to be Reaper, Pro Tools, Studio One, which I have here, Studio One 4. It came with my MIDI keyboard. It just sucks that you can't even have your fucking own VSTs load in there. Like, you can only use the built-in VSTs, which I think is really a shame. Because, like, it's a really cool DAW, but, like, you can't load in your own VSTs, which really sucks. But that being said, it is a good DAW. If you get the Pro version, you can get your own VSTs loaded. And I have the artist version. Is that it? It can show up. Studio One, it doesn't say it, but it's the artist version that came with my MIDI keyboard. But so yeah, so for VSTs, I go in Mixcraft, whether it's 8 or 7. Oh, hello. by the way, please leave. So here you can see right there, these are my drums. And so normally you'd think, oh, he's just gonna like do everything in his DAW, but since, as I mentioned in the live chat, there was a couple of bugs here and there, a couple of glitches during the stream, because my computer is so fucking terrible. It has like 4 gigs of RAM, shitty processor. It's just an old ass PC. I'm due for an update, more than due for that. But that being said, so I go into Mixcraft, load all my MIDI files, and export every. I explained that in the past live stream, but still, just want to talk about it real quick. So I just export every VST track in an MP3. I can't read these words. Shit, moon runes. Oof. But yeah, fucking, and yet you're using Windows 10. Yeah. So basically, I export every VST track into an MP3 track and load it in Adobe Audition. So I do that for VST, for all VST tracks and all drum tracks. And then, since I noticed sometimes when I recorded big projects, especially for the 24-minute song, since I recorded like guitar tracks, there were some of these glitches that were happening. So when I have all the VST tracks, I export all the project in one track, load in a smaller project, and record my guitar and bass tracks there. This way I don't get the glitches. But yeah, so the problem was with my mixing, you know, I liked my sound, but I knew I could make it sound better. So then I upgraded with, because I used to have, well, I still own, actually I just don't use it. I used to have a Zoom G3, no, Zoom G2.1 NU, which is an old model. It's discontinued right now. It's a multi-effects processor. And then I upgraded to a Zoom G3 XN this summer, and a couple of months I played with it on during Brony Palooza, and a couple of months later I had a lot of money. Well, I saved a lot of money, and I was like, oh, maybe it's time for an upgrade. And I figured the G5N was like a better option than the G3 XN, just because I couldn't have like as many effects as I can now. I could have bought like a fucking head rush or whatever, but that was twice the price. So fuck it. No, I wasn't that rich. But then I started re-recording everything because, you know, going from the G2.1 NU to the Zoom G5N, whew, you get a way different sound. It's way better. You get different cabinets that you can choose from, even mics. You can blend in mics, like between an SM57 and I don't remember the brand, but it's a 421, if anyone knows that, a number of a mic. But yeah, you can use, like, there's a bunch of amps, bunch of effects that you can use at once. I just like that very much. I know you can do that with the Ed Rush and, you know, Axe effects and whatnot, but I'm poor. I'm a musician, I'm broke. But yeah, so I got that, but then the drums was mostly the problem, because I liked my guitar tone. Sometimes I tweak some things here and there, but, you know, if it was just a minor tweak, I wasn't gonna like re-record every guitar track. I'd just change the EQ and that's it. But for the drums, you know, I was like, I like the drums on their own, but in a mix, like, the snare doesn't punch enough. And like 3 days ago, I was like messing around. I was like, maybe it's because there was like not enough low end in the snare. Because I listened to Transcendence by Devin Townsend, the album, like really frequently. And I was like, that snare sounds like beefy. And there it was, my solution. I just needed to boost it a little bit in the low end. And so I was like, all right, let's boost it 120, didn't work. Let's boost at 200, didn't work. 250, it worked. So, and we're not talking like crazy boost, just like 3 or 6 dBs. Like, or huge, with a large Q, not a narrow Q. around the 250 hertz. So it really gives that snare a punch that really cuts through the mix. So that was 3 days ago. And before I had like 2 tracks for the kick, one for the clicky sound and one for the like sub. Some people use a sub mic for kicks. It's like a special kind of mic. Yamaha makes one. I don't know the model, but yeah, it's like a super big mic that captures like really low frequencies. And I tried to mimic that, but it failed miserably. And now I use like 2 EQs, a noise gate, and a compressor basically. And yeah, just a bunch of tweaks on the drums made it sound so much better, and I started that like 3 days ago. And now I remixed everything. I was like, alright, we have the instrumental. And there you go. So it was always, because when you're an artist, you don't want to give your audience like a half-assed product. You want to be, I'm going to be on the stream while I do my homework. Hey, Lamau. You should tune in to the lo-fi stream with the anime girl thumbnail or whatever. But yeah, so you don't want to give your audience like a half-assed product. You want to give something that you know you're proud of, that you know you worked hard on, and that you know is the best you can. But you also want to release it as quick as possible, especially for me, because it's music, you know. I don't want to give like half-assed performance. I don't want to give half-assed mixed product. I want to give out the best that I want, not the what I want, that I can do. And so every time that I was about to finish mixing it, I was like, God, I wish I could do this to the guitar tone or the drums and whatever, and I made it happen. So every time it would do that, it'd be another like a week or 2 of delay because of that. And so now, I figured, fuck it, let's just do what I can now, and if I release it and I can do something better afterwards, too bad. That's just how it is. And, you know, instead of, you know, I listened, well, matter of fact, I listened to a bunch of Devin Townsend albums, and if you listen to, like, Ocean Machine, and then you listen to Transcendence, oh boy, is it different. Like, it's way more polished, the drums sound amazing, the guitars sound amazing, the vocal, everything sounds amazing. But throughout his albums, you can hear the improvement in each one of them. Like, if you listen to Epic Cloud, you know, it sounds good, but then you listen to Transcendence, the drums sound similar, but it's more polished. If you listen to Addicted and then you listen to Epic Cloud, it's 2 different things. If you listen to Accelerated Evolution and then listen to Addicted, it's 2 different things. So yeah, I figured like maybe I should release the albums as they come out and not as I want them to come out, because this way you can see the improvement between albums. And that's really a cool thing, because like if you're going to listen to the original To the Moon and Beyond from 2015, it sounds garbage compared to the 2017 edition. But if you listen to this record right here, it sounds way better than the 2017 edition of To the Moon and Beyond. So imagine what can happen in the next couple of years. So, and plus I try to limit myself to write an album at a time. So right now I'm kind of stuck with that and not writing any new ideas, because I know that if I start, you know, writing new ideas and new songs, I'll stop working on that album and, you know, put it aside where I really want to finish it, because I've been over fucking hyping it for years now. So yeah, that's the struggle I've been through since I started writing a stupid album. But as I said previously, you should expect an official release between March and April, hopefully, if my mouth ulcers go away real quick, and I can, because here's the thing, when I work, I can't really record vocals, because most of the time I wake up like an hour and a half before my shift, and I don't really have time to record vocals in that short lapse of time. Or when I don't work, sometimes my upstairs neighbors are there and I can't really record vocals. I used to go to college to record vocals, but long story short, the room that I used to go, they have a problem with me apparently, but I don't want to get into that. It's just bullshit. Like high school bullshit. No offense to you, Tragic Sense. It's stupid high school bullshit. It's like, oh, I don't like him. It's bullshit drama, basically. And I'd rather stay away from them and that than go there and, you know, feed on the bullshit. So yeah, I try to record vocals when I can, when I don't work, and when my upstairs neighbors aren't there, so I don't disturb them. So with that being said, I hope that everyone that tuned in enjoyed this listening party. Of course, it's going to be available right here on YouTube. I'm not going to release a full instrumental album because that'd be stupid. But I might make, I don't know, like a deluxe version with all the stems, maybe. I don't know. I have to see for that. But yeah, so expect an official release date for March or April, hopefully. Oh, come on. Sorry, dude. I'm really sorry. Instrumental is great. Well, it's half the album, so you can enjoy that. You can download the video on like a YouTube to MP3 if you want. And just... Oh, right, I'm talking over it. Shit. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll do like a deluxe version. I don't know. I don't know. I have to see. I have yet to see, my dude. So, with that being said, thanks everyone who tuned in. Hope you enjoyed this album, and to everyone who tuned in afterwards after the stream was gone, hopefully you enjoyed this as well. Be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to leave a comment to give me your thoughts on the album and whatnot, how you think it sounds so far. And the link for pre-orders are down below in the description. So what else can I say? Well, you're gonna see more music very soon. Not only original but covers as well. So I'll see you guys soon. Keep on rocking my world, and I'll keep on rocking yours. I'm PewDiePie. Hey, Lamau.